what are some of the applications you're looking at that aren't so obvious? I know it's been looked at colitis. Results so-so, not perfect yet with colitis. There's been some ups and downs. Fecal transplant for C. diff, much more, overwhelmingly successful. But what are some of the other things that we should all know about? What's coming down? What's next season? What are
which spaces to watch? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to start? I have.
Go for it.
So we're, like I explained in my intro, we're doing it for multi-drug resistant organisms. So
Right,
again, it's that gut garden that gets disrupted with antibiotics, and then these weeds, is what I call them, grow up in the gut garden. But we're giving weed killer all the time. We're not replanting that garden. And so I think two areas that we're working on are the fecal enemas to eliminate, because it's a very similar mechanism to C. diff, right? C. diff is the same thing, but instead of C. diff, you're getting extended spectrum beta-lactamase producing E. coli or very drug-resistant bacteria, and so it's going. I think it's going to prove to work in that. We have 2 prospective studies that we're doing. We've only we've enrolled 6 people. There's people that are farther along in it than we are that have more patients, but I think it's going to look. The results are going to look similar because the disruption of it is similar.
And that will be a very, very big deal because as somebody who's done work in hospitals and come across these resistant organisms, we all know that we're running out of antibiotics. There are some bugs we cannot treat right now. This would be just thinking outside of the box, a new way to do it. And wouldn't it be amazing if we did have those stores of our own stool that we could just,
Right.
bring it back in. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. What's your company looking at?
Yeah, I think the area of antibiotic resistance and seeing if you can help there is huge. And in addition to some of the MDRs that we see commonly here, open by
MDR, multi-drug resistant organisms.
Antibiotic resistant bacteria, I think is the more normal way of saying it. But I think, we're looking at a study in typhoid. Typhoid is caused by Salmonella typhi, which is only found in human hosts. And so if you want to think about eradicating typhoid, one of the ways you can do it is by getting it out of people who carry Salmonella typhi around.
And I'm going to interrupt you just to explain that with Salmonella, one of the problems is we actually don't give antibiotics for it. Usually we just want you to clear it yourself because you can prolong the carrier state. And sometimes, as she's implying, you just keep having the Salmonella and then you have it chronically, and it's a real problem like typhoid Mary. Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And I think one of the other studies that I'm really excited about is right out of Jeff Gordon's research that you mentioned at the top. So in addition to studying obesity, one of the other things that Jeff Gordon's lab looked at is the other end of the spectrum, severe acute malnutrition. And there are children with severe acute malnutrition. About a third of kids don't respond to standard of care nutritional therapy and antibiotics, which is usually how you treat severe acute malnutrition. And Jeff, being brilliant, found a bunch of Malawian twins where one twin was healthy and the other was severely malnourished. Took samples of stool from those kids, fed them to mice, and the mice developed. One of the mice was healthy, one of the mice was malnourished, and then he co-housed those mice. And the really nice thing about mice is they're coprophagic, which is a fancy way of saying they eat each other's poop, which is a great FMT-style intervention.
But continue.
Well, this is a happy story for the mice, too, because the mice that had been severely malnourished or showed the hallmarks of severe acute malnutrition recovered when they were kind of exposed to or at least co-housed with healthy mice.